Hey, David here. Crazy busy lately. So, roll casting. We're going to talk about roll casting. I went back to some, I'm going to even call it like seconds, right? Where you video something and you're like, is this good enough for my class I got coming up? So, it's some instructions on roll casting, some key kind of things to practice, key things to learn, how to really put some power into a roll cast, when to use a roll cast, all that good stuff. So watch the video coming up, but hey, before you go to that link in the description below. I've got a little sign up for how to fly fish. So it's the beginnings of my kind of course on fly fishing. We start out with a 20-minute video on how, for beginners to learn how to fly fish. So how to fly fish, guide recommended. Stay tuned for our roll casting video. Thanks. All right, so the roll cast. So I probably use the roll cast probably 70% of the time. The reason, I love fishing in streams and rivers, and usually you've got stuff behind you. You got trees, you got brush, you got all kinds of stuff. And the idea of the roll cast is not to have that backcast, not to float that line behind you. So if you got junk behind you, trees, woods, brush, whatever it is, you don't need to backcast. So let's get some line out. A couple tricks to it. One of the things I'm going to talk about, I'm hoping you're hearing me good. We got a little bit of a breeze on this chilly fall day. Is what's called a chop. Right, you got to put some power into a roll cast, okay? And you're going to bring it back to slightly behind you. You're going to form what's called a D loop, okay? And then you're going to chop it down. You're going to chop it. So let's do this. Another thing you got to remember is you can't cross the line. So when I say cross the line, right? So if I'm pulling it back up, for me to cast out, right, with the current going down this way, I almost need to cast over my opposite side. So let's see if I can get this here, and then we'll switch sides, and I'm going to show you the other way as well. So roll casts, you got to have a little bit of water. You got to have something that's going to load that rod in. That's done by the water, by dragging that fly line in the water. So the idea is you chop, right? So you bring back, you see I got that D, chop, right? I didn't put as much energy in that to kind of slow it down, but bring it back to a D line, right? And then you're gonna chop, right? That's how you're gonna get your distance, is in that right, that last little tweak. So you want to smooth energy and then zap. So let's do it again. Zap. So, and it'll pull it right up out of the water. So zap. So I do have my camera set up out there. I noticed I got it set up wrong. So for this one, I really want to go zap. D, zap. D, zap. That's the roll cast. Again, bring it back, chop. Right? You can get some big distance with this once you get the technique down. That's almost, and some of this is a lot of the techniques you'll learn with spey casting, because spey casting, again, you're loading that line, you're loading that rod against the resistance of the water. So that's the roll cast. Probably one of my most used casts. And again, you want to do it effectively. chop, right? So